So it has been brought to my attention. Why is it not something popular for restaurants to prepare and sell local chicken stew? Or why restaurants in the great nation of Belize don't offer a local chicken stew or gravy or soups? I do know and realize that pigtail is pretty popular. You can get pigtail in split pea or with beans, stew beans, or you can get it in a thing traditionally known as boil up with ground food provision and drumlin man, which is a boil up, a steamed dumpling. Do many households. This is for Belizeans, primarily Belizeans living at home or on abroad. Did you grow up experiencing, consuming, and eating pig feet and oxtail or cow's tail? It's my first time experiencing and eating and consuming pig feet. Was at a Panamanian function, and that would be in Austin, Texas, just south of Austin, Texas to be exact. And then the next time I had the opportunity and privilege to eat oxtail, I was also in Austin, Texas, and I was hanging out with some Jamaicans and a few Belizeans at that time, but Jamaicans were the one that introduced me to oxtail. Is it something that is pretty popular? I've cooked it myself here in Belize, but I never recall ever eating it until I left Belize. Now that I moved back home, I do eat and prepare oxtail and pig feet. I've been doing research for the last week trying to figure out how come it's not popular here in Belize, because it's pretty popular in other parts of Central America and in the Caribbean. Just trying to figure out, and I mean in the restaurant from a business perspective. I know there might be private household and private individuals that grew up eating it, but what was the reason why it's not popular and why you can't find it in restaurants and stuff here? What's the cause? Because you can find dukunu here as well. The land do provide. One is green mango and then the other one is a ripe mango. And those are the skin, the peel. I'm doing this because food poisoning also found out and known that you can eat green mangoes to help combat and fight and build immune system and resistance and healing yourself via green mangoes. There's a solid foot race to try to compete with nature. I mean the critters, the animals. This one was loaded with these are what we call crabbo. I had used this in videos a few months back and people were requesting and wondering what type of flower was it. Well, it's a food bearing plant and this is the fruit. They're a lot bigger than this, but I haven't been feeling too well, so I said I would come out and take it. By the time I come out, there was like most of it is gone. I think the squirrels are coming in and taking it, or maybe the kids are taking them. All right, there they are. Here they are. I found some that's a little bit bigger. Right, they're starting to turn. So these you can turn these into wine, and you can ferment the fruit and eat it and consume it as a dessert. The leaves can be used in the tea. This one now we had branded it for firewood. There's some new growths popping out, and include this a while back. But just highlighting and showing that the Landu provides, and these are different types. It's the same fruit, but these are a little bit smaller. This is locally in the Creole referring it to. Name for it is a crabo. I don't know the scientific name. So if you have maybe food poisoning, or you're having major issues stomach, you can do aloe vera to help, and the spiny cacti as well. You can use that to help you. Now, I'm not recommending or saying that they're perfect. These do help, but they help at a little bit slower pace, and you have to combine them. I recommend figuring out and checking in with your doctor first. I just don't do medication, and I'm always looking for the most effective and environmentally friendly and sound way to help build my immune system and help my body have a way of mapping and recognizing, because your DNA, your blood cells do record that stuff for future reference, so you can fight it off. The moringa plant look like the first ones, the first little shoots, they perished and they died. But some more coming, like they were struggling. Maybe it died. I guess that's the reason why. Who knows? So this is the moringa right here. I think that's bobbing. That's it. This one was done in remembrance and memory of the great Smilers. He got the stock from his dad, my granddad, off the ranch, and he brought it here to town. So I'm doing my part by replanting it and keeping the tradition going. This plant is a plum, and you can make a jelly with it, you can make candy, you can just eat it by itself. I have to find out and figure out if their leaves can be used to make a tea as well. For those that have this lingering long desire, great desire to move and live to Belize, I highly recommend adding this to your garden. This is a chaya. It's a superfood, and it's great to have. Just one fun fact, interesting thing about this, you gotta steam or boil this first, roughly about 15 to 20 minutes. And you gotta discard the water, and you have to put it in a stainless steel pot. Do not cook this in aluminum pans, and that non-stick kind of pan, which is with that layer coating in there, and the other side or the bottom side of it is aluminum. Do not cook this in those types of pots and pans. Got my little spinach there coming. Your hard work do pay off sometime. Wasn't expecting to see that, but it has avocado under there after the tree being traumatized and shot. Did a couple little things, but just basic, adding metal, charcoal, ash, back to the soil. Yeah, I'm impressed and shocked and surprised that they both have food on there after it's been shot. So whenever your plant gets shocked or triggered by something you have done, you can take metal stakes and drive them in the ground. Remember to add ash and charcoal. If you have biodegradable leaves, stems, branches and stuff that you can add around the plant to help retain and keep in moisture. Yes, coconut do give off a lot of debris, but if you're wise and you're smart, you'll understand that each palm yields roughly about 30 US to 30-35 US per plant. So yeah, I mean from the plant itself, when you give the nuts out, just this nut right here, that's $60. Now if you harvest the coconut, bottle it, you can get a little bit more cash for it. You can also figure out how to make coconut oil. You can definitely get coconut milk. These are the ones that you'll more than likely you get the coconut milk from. You can drink the water from the ones that are brown like this, but it's not sweet. You might have to add a little bit of lime and some sugar or honey to help it, but this is where you get the milk from. You just crack this bad boy open, but it starts by peeling this outer shell. This is a nut, so you got to take this. It has a double nut. Okay, so So this is the other nut, and that's the stuff right here that you'll get the milk from. And there it is, that's the shell right there. And you can also use these for barbecuing and adding flavor. You can ignite it and use this outer part here to burn, and like a charcoal. Or if you want to add that nutty oily flavor, you can get this side to ignite and it'll add like a smoky flavor to your meat. So I recommend, if you're going to use this, you can soak them in water, and then you just toss them in when you have the amber on your charcoal, and the oil and the smoke from the shell gives it a nice flavor. This is another thing that you can get from the coconut. This is like a kind of like a cabbage, but much better. This grows on the inside. This is what you get from the sugar, the water, and the sugar and the coconut water creates this. That's a little tiny one right in there. The chickens will enjoy that. Now this is my bed without the soil. These been doing well, but I think probably the chickens and maybe lizards and other animals might be coming in and eating that, so I don't know if this is going to survive. So far I had I think I had like maybe 8 or 9 of them up in here. 2 had perished, so now I know the bed works, so I might put my pigeon peas up in here. See, this one is surviving back here, I guess, because they can't get to it. And then here's another one that's doing well. Now, I'm not highlighting the bad part of it, I'm highlighting that it's a positive. I just need to see how I can figure out now how I can put in my beans up in there, because this bed has no soil, no dirt, nothing in it. It's all biodegradable matter. This one is a combo, and both beds I should be watering it regardless of what's happening. It needs to be watered regardless if I have food there or not. I should have been watering it, but I haven't been watering. And this is just to show that I haven't watered it in over like 4 weeks. Something has been messing with this one. I've been feeding it, but it's not surviving. Something is messing with it, because it was like that and I had it like this, so something is causing it to perish and die. I don't think this one is going to survive. This is called chichibe. It's a tough plant. Sheeps and goat loves it. But my grandmother, they would call her chichibe. That was one of her nickname or pet names. She was tough, she was strong, she knew how to get things done. She wasn't scared or terrified of getting out there and put a little bit of elbow grease into whatever was being done. But yeah, this one, I put this one maybe like 4 weeks after. This one is doing well. And the woman that was known as Chichibe as her pet name, that was my dad's mom. This is the one that I replant. This is in moringa, and I add soil. This one was in the clay. Sometimes you got to experiment and figure out what's work and what not work. Found out that too much clay, when you first plant these bad boys, they retain too much water, and then they cause the section in the ground to rot and prevent roots from happening. So this one that's doing well and thriving, this one I put sand. I had already put sand about 2 years or 3 years prior in this area. So that was by accident too as well. I wasn't preparing for it, but that was by accident. So just know that the coconut palm itself, the nut, just from the nut you can get water, that's one. You can get coconut oil, that's 2. And 3, milk. And then it keeps on giving. With 4, you can use the trash. to make coconut crush or a tart, a type of tart, little pie, dessert. So it's a plant that keeps on giving. You can use the shell for grilling and barbecuing, and you can use these to make hats and other things. So it's a plant that can give you quite a bit. This is all from the coconut palm itself. This is a fire starter. No, I'm not too terrified of releasing and letting it go, because now it never really amount to anything. But here you go, you can make this become a biodegradable plate where you can go to schools and harvest old typing sheets and paper and old exercise books, and do a combination where you put different seeds in between them, make a press, put your paper on the outside, paper on the inside, put your seeds between, and you press it tightly and hardly, you can make a paper plate. And then when you're done, you can throw it away. And when you put it in your garden, you can have some sort of type of vegetable that comes from it, but you have to add water. And then to make it press and become a paper plate, you need to add water, mix that water with a little bit of flour. But there you have it. It could be used as a fire starter. This, you can get a fire going rain or shine. Someone or something has been pushing up on it. But this is fever grass, also known as lemongrass. You need to have that added to your garden. It's good to be a natural bug repellent. If you put it close to your back door and your front doors, it will help to get rid of allow mosquitoes and other biting insects not to come into your house. And it's a good tea to add, and it also helps to build your immune system. You can also add it to your soups. I do add a little bit to my soups and my beans. This is our Home Depot. It's a jungle roofing material that you can use to install a roof. I got question again on whether it can last anywhere from like 45 to about 60 years. Yes, it can, if it's harvested within the right time, done properly. You're not supposed to use nails to secure the wood, because for some reason the nail release some sort of chemical that causes the frame to rot. But yeah, once this is installed and done properly, it will last a long time.